Today's show is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Your online activity shouldn't be public. Protect yourself at expressvpn.com/inside.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Inside Gaming. Oh, what's that on the roof? Is that Santa dropping off a PS5? No, because the supplies
It's a dangerous
are still
murderer.
limited. It's a dangerous murderer, but still Santa. He's taking a turn.
This is an invented holiday. Jesus was born in spring.
I really am Tim Allen in real life. We are gathered here today, your favorite team in gaming news, entertainment, and looks, to talk about our favorite games of 2020. Not an amazing year, but some really good games came out despite that. So we're gonna go around and say what we liked, why we liked it, and we're not taking any questions. We're just gonna live our damn lives, okay? So get used to it and shut up and go to bed.
We should mention that Cyberpunk isn't out yet by the time we're recording this, and it might not actually be out by the time this video comes out. So
doesn't exist.
Don't expect Cyberpunk to actually be on.
Or maybe we all just hated it and it was super overrated.
I don't think any of us have next-gen consoles yet, so we haven't played Demon Souls or anything.
They don't exist either.
Anyway, we're gonna go around and say our top 3 games of the year. The heavy hitters are probably gonna be closer to the end of the video, and I'm gonna start us off with my number 3, which was Super Mario Sunshine.
That's not a game from this year.
It's in 16:9 and it's on the Switch now, so I am gonna take it. And it was all I cared about is a blast from the past. I didn't even play 64 or Galaxy. All I wanted to do was play Sunshine. I fucking blazed through it, and it made this year worth living through.
I went back to like experience it. I'm like, oh my god, I hate this. I should have left it as a fond memory. That game made 2020 a far worse year.
Wow,
It's the worst thing to happen to you
Already
this year?
some controversy.
Yeah.
some venom in those words, Zach.
Wow.
Fine, what's your
Spill
number
the
3,
tea.
Zach?
My number 3, also a number 3 game, Pikmin 3.
Are you serious?
Yes, and
for real?
Yes, and you know what?
Out?
Yeah, no. Pikmin 3 Deluxe came out
Deluxe.
this year.
It's a deluxe.
Yes, Pikmin
gotcha.
3 Deluxe was the Pikmin 3 remastered that came out just like within the last month. Well, okay.
Yeah.
With it,
The deluxe part is that it's still $60.
no, it's like 40 or something, and it's fine. It's worth it. It's good. Pikmin 3 was a great game, and it holds up. Unlike Sunshine, it holds up.
Next.
My number 3 is actually a game that came out this year for the first time ever. It's Ghost of Tsushima. It was a great game from start to finish. I loved the horse. I loved the combat. It was just aesthetically pleasing game, very pretty. Photo mode was fantastic. Loved it. Great game.
Solid choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
My
My number
choice.
3 game is also a number 3 game. Resident Evil 3, the remake. That's my number 3.
I almost forgot that was out.
Yeah, it would have been number 1. However, because the original is like my favorite game ever, especially like
It's a great game.
it's an amazing game. The remake was, excuse my French, but it was a little bit of a dick tease, right? Because it didn't give me the entire experience that I wanted. They cut the clock tower, man, and I can't forgive them for that.
Next!
My number 3, the Final Fantasy VII Remake, obviously the first installment. I'm sorry, it was great. They converted it to like real-time combat instead of just taking turns, which I don't mind, but the goddamn kids have to have everything fast and furious
Goddamn
these
kids.
days. Your movies and your games have to be that way.
Yep.
So yeah,
Emily.
Final Fantasy VII Remake for me.
My third pick is gonna be in line with Caden's, also Ghost of Tsushima. That game was a surprise for me. I didn't expect it to be as good. I like open world games like that, but I thought that the game looked pretty, but I didn't expect it to deliver on like the combat, for example. And the story is like pretty all right, but then adding that multiplayer, Legends DLC, the update, just good stuff all around. And I look forward to seeing more content out of that game, hopefully next year or eventually even a sequel.
My number 3 was Carrion.
Yeah.
Don't know what that
Maybe
is.
a lot of that in this
right.
video.
That's
Great
right.
game.
Carrion.
It's
It was that Green Day song.
I like to eat people. I like to be tentacles.
And the
So-
truth comes out.
Yeah.
We all have a meat tentacle here on Inside Gaming.
Yeah.
My number 2 for 2020 is The Last of Us 2. too. I mean, yeah, it was a bummer, but like I really enjoyed it and the gameplay was really good and I liked the characters and it looked amazing.
Yeah.
Despite being on a launch PS4. A little long, and some of the choices I was like, but overall I thought it was a super good video game that I liked playing.
My number 2 is another remaster, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 plus 2.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
But that's an overhaul. That's like a
It is a
It's
yeah,
real good.
that is, yeah, that's a new game, and it's honestly like that is the exact inverse of my time with Super Mario Sunshine this year, where my fond memories were only enhanced by playing it, because my god, those games, the DNA of it still holds up so well, and all it needed was a nice little fresh coat of paint.
Dude, I hope you never get an exquisite island getaway to a place like Delphine. You don't deserve it, and you wouldn't appreciate it. Like, frankly, honestly, though, dude.
My number 2 is not going to surprise anybody. I am horrible weeb trash. It's Genshin Impact. I've literally spent probably way
Never
too much
heard of it.
frickin' time on this damn game. It is super fun. It was free. I've spent $0 on it and I'm having a blast. Controls are great. Game is fun. Voice acting is fun. It's aesthetically pleasing, and it's Breath of the Wild, but with waifus. So what is not to love?
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, the quality is nuts.
Breath of
As a
the
fellow
Wild.
weeb, the quality is nuts for a free-to-play game.
It's seeing eye
real
tie.
I'm just hearing white noise right now.
My number 2 game is The Last of Us 2. You know, despite the controversy, despite what everybody had to say about it, I loved that goddamn game. The story was amazing, the character animations, even that weird, freaky Abby sex scene, everything was just so goddamn good, and I loved it, man. And the length for me was awesome. I love long games.
My number 2, no surprise, Yandere Simulator, just unbelievable. Loved it.
Today's episode of Inside Gaming Daily is brought to you by the Logitech G733 Lightspeed wireless RGB gaming headset. Do you see this? Do you see what's going on here? RG and also B. My favorite thing about this headset is the range. I can just get up, get a snack from the kitchen, and still hear everybody talking. And it is way better than my old headsets. The G733 Lightspeed wireless gaming headset has a 2.4 gigahertz wireless connection, front-facing dual-zone LightSync RGB, Blue voice mic technology, Pro G audio drivers, and multiple colorways to choose from. Total freedom, up to 20 meters of wireless range with Lightspeed wireless. Keep playing as well with over 29 hours of battery life. I've only had to charge this thing once since I got it. You can also play wirelessly at a PlayStation 4 with stereo sound. It's got front-facing, dual-zone LightSync RGB lighting. You can personalize it across style and comfort. The reversible suspension headband is designed for ultimate comfort during long play sessions. And each colorway has its own unique headband design. Soft dual-layer memory foam that conforms to your head and contours around the jaw for a better seal is on the earpieces. It reduces stress points and it delivers long-lasting comfort, which is obviously something you want all the time, is to be comfortable, but especially when you're playing video games. So for a limited time, Logitech G is offering our viewers express shipping at logitechg.com. Use code Inside Gaming Daily News Free Ship 12.24. That's express shipping for all Logitech G products with promo code Inside Gaming Daily News Free Ship 12.24. Hurry now, since that promo code expires in 3 days. Thank you, Logitech, for sponsoring today's episode.
No, it's as a fellow weeb, I gotta go with another JRPG, Xenoblade Chronicles, the definitive edition for the Switch. It was good on the new 3DS, but now the graphics are improved and it just feels, it's like it has a chance to breathe. Everything feels a lot more fleshed out. Just a great open world JRPG.
My number 2 game with a bullet is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I think that was an improvement on the original in a lot of ways. Larger area, new weapon system, just the platforming is sublime. I mean, I know there's a couple bosses that gave people some issues, but I think overall, like, it's just such an improvement, still such a beautiful game. And as far as platformers go this year, I think it's incredibly difficult to beat. So that's my number 2.
My number 2 is the interactivity function on the Pornhub website between the porn you're watching and your device. There's a
The
wide
cast
range
button.
There's a wide range of devices that are supported. No, my number 2 is Doom Eternal. That is just, it's the best. Everything about it rocks. Not quite number 1.
Full teaser there.
No, I was super excited. I
Pat.
was super excited about it. It did not let me down.
I don't think this is an amazing game, but for the times and being stuck inside, I'm gonna pick Watch Dogs Legion. It's just candy. There's no nutritional value to it. The overall story, bad. The game, buggy.
This is perfect.
The Brock Gen, fine. It's super fun, just like calling down a drone, riding up onto it with some random ass character you recruited off the street. The best character I recruited is very slow and very frail, but I gave him electric brass knuckles. So he just hobbles over and just punches the cops. Cool. And it's yeah, man, it's, I don't know. I think it's an okay game at best, but it is really fun.
Because this year is so weird, in the quarantine, I actually would give my number 1 game to Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone, just because it has been like the social staple, like my social life staple this year. Like I've had so many wonderful nights playing with friends in like ways that I have playing that with friends in ways that I haven't since like playing Xbox Live in like high school, where it's like we all like, this is our hangout time together. And like Warzone has definitely got its bugs, and it's definitely not a perfect game, and it definitely has like its like fair share of bad actors and annoying people to play it. I don't know, that just became the pub, that became the like place everyone met to congregate, and I it will always hold a special place in my heart in this year 2020.
Lame.
Right. I didn't think this game was real until I actually had it in my hands. Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh.
This game was everything I never thought could possibly exist with Final Fantasy. I like how they really like expanded upon those areas. It gave a lot more character development. The voice acting was fantastic. The music blew my mind. It was everything I wanted from a remake of Final Fantasy VII, with the fact that they actually delved more into those little side stories and those little character interactions, because this is a long, I mean, Final Fantasy VII as it stands was a very long game, but they're really pulling it out to kind of like give you a full investment on these characters that we've loved for a very long time. Final Fantasy VII Remake hits me in the heart. I got to see a bunch of very familiar characters again. It was very nostalgic, and the combat system is so great. And, you know, getting to switch between the characters on the fly, really nice. They learned a lot from Final Fantasy 15, and they really ramped up this game, and I can't wait to see where they take it.
Anyway, it's my turn. So my number 1 is Ghost of Tsushima. There's nothing bad I can say about that game because I loved it so much. At the beginning, I immediately thought like, oh, this is gonna be some boring samurai game. It doesn't look that fun. I don't like the movement. I don't like the combat system. And then as the game progressed, it just like blew my mind at every turn with the kind of game that it was. And I was even excited about the multiplayer. Easy choice for my number 1. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
So my number 1, this one caught me completely off guard. It came out of nowhere, at least for me. I hadn't really been following it, and I don't really like the genre that much.
Brand's about to steal my pick.
Hades, number 1. It was so much fun. The amount of just content available is ridiculous in it. The voice acting, amazing. The story, so fun. I haven't even beaten it all the way through, and I just love it. And I like the roguelite formula. Call me a casual, that's fine. But just sort of making progress every run, the different weapons available, and just all the different attacks you can do. It's just a blast.
It's just such an incredible game from top to bottom. It's every Supergiant game, like the best element of every Supergiant game. They mashed it all into one. They completely just like gave that roguelite genre like a facelift. Like they've introduced narrative in a way that roguelites haven't really been able to do before. It's, you know, it's consistent, it's contextual, it's all of those things all at once. You always feel like you're progressing. Like every different weapon type, I feel like I could play that game for just so long because I like all of them. Like I could play any of weapon. Like I have my favorites. Like obviously, like the bow is great, and I really like the fists.
Causes me excruciating pain to not choose Demon Souls, but I haven't played it yet. So I can't do that. But no, my number 1 is the Tony Hawk remaster. That game was f***ing perfect. It was not like long. Obviously, there's no story or anything like that. but it was the perfect arcadey time killer. And this was just the perfect remaster and the perfect like time killer, fun, nostalgic game.
I'll take us out, but can we hum the Hark the Herald Angels from the end of Charlie Brown Christmas?
Yes.
And from all of us here at Inside Gaming, we hope you have a very, very Merry Christmas. Or just, if it's a regular day, maybe just kind of like kick back and put your feet up.
If you're a Scientologist,
put those on.
Pray
if you're
to
a Scientologist,
Tom Cruise? Who do they pray to?
Or if you're not religious, Christmas is a collection of a million different things. You can still give gifts, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad about it.
Yes,
Be nice to each other.
I know you won't,
Have a
you
good year.
godless heathen.